Hello everyone, this is Robin Carter. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of Flower Mound, Texas. And today I want to share something that I was able to pre-order out of the mini catalog. This is a great catalog. If you already have your catalog, you could turn to the page. I cannot open it per Stampin' Up! Rules, but I can show you the front cover of it. And the sample I'm going to be making is from the Oh Holy Night stamp set. And I wanted to show that with you today. So if you are new to my channel, I would really appreciate if you would hit the subscribe button below. And to those of you who have already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for your support, and I hope you enjoy this video. I love to share tips and tricks along the way that just kind of pop in my head, so you never know what tricks and tips you're going to get. So be sure and watch this to the end. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, but let's get started. So I'm going to go off camera so I can tell you what page this is on. If you already have your catalog, it is on page 14 and 15, and it's called the Oh Holy Night Suite. It was immediately one that I put on my list, and I pre-ordered that one already. So let me show you those products. So it is what we call a super suite, I think, because it includes 2 stamp sets. I've got some washi tape on there. So the whole suite includes 2 stamp sets, the Night Divine and the Stars at Night. Now, as part of this super suite, they have dies. Now, these are the dies. It's called Night Divine dies. I should have known that. They did change it, and now the dies that coordinate, although this is just sentiments, here are the dies for those, and I just love the nativity scene. So it's not often that they have Christian specific stamps or dies, but it's been a while. I can't remember the name of the other one, but there was one before that had the Jerusalem background that has been one of my favorites to use at Christmas. But now we have a new one that I was really excited about. And then the Stars at Night has dies and a hybrid embossing folder that goes with it. So here's the Stars at Night. This is the Stars at Night dies. As you can see, it's a huge set. And then it also, the bundle comes with this hybrid embossing folder. So here's the label for it. But to help you be able to see it, I went ahead and embossed something. Let me get a dark background. Here's a sneak of some DSP I'm going to show you. But I embossed it with vellum paper. And wow, look at that. I just love how vellum embosses. And I just think this is a beautiful set. Now, let me go ahead and show you that the dies. So the stars right here, they are 3 dies tied together. And so those will fit. What a hybrid embossing folder does is you can emboss and cut all at the same time. So let me share a tip with you here. So just be sure and notice that the stars on the left and right are different. So you can see it better maybe here on the paper. One is kind of tall and one is not as tall. So when you put the dies in here, and let me see if I can get it going the right direction, they will kind of not really snap, but if you notice, they're pretty snug right there. So if you wanted to cut and emboss these 3 stars at once, I keep turning because I want it to face me. Okay, then you would fold this, okay, and run it through your die cut and emboss machine, just like you would a 3D embossing folder. So it would be base plate 1, and then this, and then your gray sheet. So I just thought I would share that tip with you on hybrid embossing folders. So that's how you do that. You can also just cut stars, and there are, I believe this stamp goes with that one. So you can stamp and then just cut out that one. You can stamp and then line it up and emboss as well. So just know that those are always options with these hybrid embossing folders, and they just give your projects that little wow factor to your project. So lots of dies here. Here's a sentiment, some leaves, some standalone star dies, which I'm going to be showing you one on my project here in a minute. So beautiful set here. So these is what this is a bundle, and then this is a bundle. But if you get the suite, you get this beautiful ribbon, which you can order all with one number. And speaking of your order, I do have a host code that's going to go through September 7th. Now, I did just look at the catalog, and let me confirm that this catalog goes live September 6th. I thought it was the 1st, but I looked closer, and it's in tiny, tiny print. It does say September 6th. So if you want to get these products before they sell out, because I think this one is going to be a hit set and suite, then be sure, and as soon as it comes live on September 6th, place your order. And if you place your order with me, Robin Carter out of Flower Mound, Texas, using this host code, you will also get a special gift from me as a thank you gift. So if your order is over $150, you can still use this host code and I will still give you a special gift, or you cannot use the host code and select myself, Robin Carter in Flower Mound, Texas, as your demonstrator, because orders over $150 and more, you will earn Stampin' rewards through Stampin' Up. So either way, it's a great way to get these products. So let me get started with the rest of the suite with showing you the designer series paper. So this is the ribbon. Let me put some darker paper. Well, probably a white paper would go best. Let me get you I have a vanilla card base ready so I can show you. So it's Night of Navy with some gold specks in it. But let's get to the designer series paper. Let me set this aside and pull that out. Okay, so let me show you the specialty paper first. It's so pretty, and it is specialty paper. You do only get 6 sheets, so one of each one in this designer series paper. So here is one. See, it's just white on the back, so I wanted to show you that. Okay, here is 2. I should probably set these aside so they don't. Okay, here is 3. Some nice gold stars, and this is foiled, the foiling that you see, and this one will really shine. I think that's beautiful. It's all beautiful. Okay, so you get kind of the same pattern as the blue, except now in ivory, and same thing with the leaves. So these are the 6 sheets you get. You get 3 of ivory and 3 in a blue, and I believe it's Night of Navy. You check the packaging. Yes, it's just Night of Navy and very vanilla. So I think the vanilla gives it a real rich feel to it. You know, I'll put that in there later. Won't make you hear through all the sticky. Okay, the other designer series paper is this set right here. So we're going to look at each sheet of it. It's the Oh Holy Night 12 by 12. And by the way, the specialty paper was 12 by 12, if I didn't mention that. So the coordinating colors of this paper are basic black, boho blue, copper clay, crumb cake, misty moonlight, night of navy, pebbled path, and very vanilla. So let me get started with it. Didn't separate each sheet yet, so I'll just pull out the whole pack. All right, you get this great scene. Isn't that lovely? And there's a very good sample in the catalog they did with this paper. All right, so you get, this is the back side. I don't know if that shows up, the pattern. All right, then you get this. It's kind of a desert scene here as well. And I was looking to see if that was a mess up on this sheet, but it's not. It's on the other sheet as well. And here's some pretty copper clay. All right, so that's those two. And then a beautiful night sky with the stars. I love that sheet. Oh, but I love the back too. So you might want to get 2 sets of this designer series paper because I like both sides. All right, so that's just, you get 2 sheets of each one, I guess. Now this is one, and I only have one full sheet to show you because I've cut it to make my sample that I'm going to get to after I show you the suite. Very pretty. And look at this. It has the town. Like the Jerusalem skyline there. Now, I just now noticed it's also in black behind it, like a shadow. That's beautiful. Oh, and I love the copper clay distressed look there as well. So yes, you get 2 of those. And I think one more. I'll flip this one over. So you get another starry sky night. And then the back side of that is this pebbled path distressed look. So I just think this is a great set. The whole suite, the papers, the embossing folders. Oh, and there's one more thing. The embellishments I forgot to show. Let me set this aside. Make sure I didn't misplace those. Here they are. Look at these nice, what are they called? They're just adhesive back star trinklets. So they are kind of thick. Let me open the package if I can figure out how. That's weird. They usually put the name on the front of things like this. So you get 1 sheet of all, looks like 2 different size stars, but quite a bit of them, and they're thick. I don't know if that shows. They're not super thick, but they do have some dimension to them. So those will be beautiful to add to your projects. All right, so now what I like to do when I get a set is look at the catalog and see if there's a card that I want to case from the catalog. So that's what I'm going to do with you today. And to speed things along, I have already pre-die cut and done the sentiment. So although the catalog piece has this designer series paper that I cut from the cardstock. So let me tell you, so this was the paper. I think the dark side was up. So when I cut designer series paper, I like to think of, a lot of people cut this way first, but I actually want to cut on the longer side to get my height here. And what that does is it leaves me with, I could do 6 cards and then have a nice strip here that I can cut either at 4, or I can do 2 landscape cards with this as a bottom. Now this isn't much pattern, but on cardstock pieces like that has a little more pattern. So the top part I may use for that is then I get a whole strip that I can then decide, do I want that at 5.5 or 4, rather than being committed to 4 if I cut at 4 first. So I hope that makes sense. That's just kind of the way I think. There's no right and wrong way. It's just the way I do it. So I have already put this, and I did cut this to 4 by 5, 5.25. And although the one in the catalog, they did the whole background using the designer series paper, I like to be able to cut at 4. That way, since the paper is 12 inches long, I can get 3. If I would have cut it at 4.25, I wouldn't be able to get 3 solid. So I just do the 4 and then mat it with a solid piece of Night of Navy to make it a full card front. Now I could have put this completely on a Night of Navy card base, but I'm going to put it on a very vanilla thick card base, and so it's going to cover the whole thing, and then that just saves me from having to put another piece of very vanilla or something in here where you can write. So that's just the way I like to do it. There's no it's not the right way. You can totally use a Night of Navy card base and put a white piece inside. So as you can see here, I already did a sentiment from this set. Let me just go ahead and pull it back out. So there's some wonderful Christmas sentiments. I did stamp it in Versamark, and then I heat embossed it with white uh, embossing powder. So I did kind of line everything out first, but I'm going to pull those pieces out. So as you can see here, we have a stable that I've cut in crumb cake, and I was able to look at the resources and find the cardstock colors they used. So that's gonna, and I've already put dimensionals on the back so you didn't have to watch me cut them and adhere them. Okay, here is the star from the embossing folder. This very vanilla one. Let me turn around my base of the Night of Navy so you can see it. I don't know if can you see that embossing on there if I turn it, get different angles of the light. So actually another way you can do it. So what I did is I first just took the die and had a small sheet of paper and just ran it through enough to get that one star. Okay, then I was like, you know, I really want it embossed. So I kind of went the backwards way about it, and I found the embossing and I lined it up like that. I put a small piece of tape so it wouldn't move, and then I ran it through my die cut and emboss machine. So if you are particular about not wanting to cut into your embossing folder, which it's not going to cut all the way through, it will leave little cut lines, but that's another way. You could actually die cut just plain and then tape it, but that's too much work. As I said, I did this as a hindsight, or I would have probably done it with the cutting. All right, so like I said, I'm casing one that's in the catalog, so they had a star like there. Whoops, I gotta flip this over. That has my sentiment on it. Okay, and that is in Very Vanilla. They also had a camel, and that is in Copper Clay, and he kind of goes underneath here. Okay, there is the mule, and he is in Crumb Cake, and then a cow, and he was also in Copper Clay. Okay, those are here. And then a little sheep, and I like the little cut out parts of him. Let me get out maybe you can see on my Stampin' Pierce mat. He has little cut out pieces. Or not cut out not cut out, but cut into. There, you can see it better on the die, I think. See the little detail. Okay, and then this is a star I did in gold, and I used this die in this, I don't have these names memorized yet, Stars at Night. So it's this one right here that I did in a gold. Now they use the distress gold, but I just had little scraps of regular gold on hand, so that's what I used. Okay, and he's going to go over the star. I love the detail. Did I show you the detail of it? I think you can see that in there. Okay, and then we have the main attraction of this card is the nativity scene. Now this one's in black. Okay, I got blue fingers. And this one is in Night of Navy. They didn't list black. They did list Night of Navy, but I wasn't sure which one I liked better. So I'm gonna, the picture looks like black, but like I said, the supply list shows Night of Navy. And then it said they did some Versamark on the nativity scene. I kind of pressed it onto my Versamark pad. I didn't really see any difference. Maybe I need to ask exactly what that meant when they said they did some kind of distressing on the Night of Navy. So this is the card, and everything but the camel I've put on dimensionals, and then of course the stars I will just put. So let me know which one you like. Do you like the Night of Navy? Do you like the black? Really, I don't know. I'm leaning towards the black because it is a true shadow. And then I'll put the little donkey here, and then they lean the, I know I'm not gluing these down yet. I just wanted to show you one in the catalog. So kind of line everything out, see how you like it. And that's how I start with a card. So I am going to adhere this camel down, and I'm going to do him lightly with just a little stick of some old mono that I have, because it's very light. You know what? I'm going to get a glue dot instead. Just one glue dot in case I don't get him in the right spot, and then I can kind of move him without tearing too many things up. All right, I have him behind the scene, kind of like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna adhere my stable. I'll have to do more on him, but he's good for now. All right, let me take all the backings off. I didn't take the backings. I did use pieces of mini dimensionals all along the sides. I tried to do enough so it wouldn't sag. Did you notice the detail of the stable? I'll turn it around and give you a close-up before I stick it down. Dies have come a long way in giving detail, just making your cards look extra special. Okay, so it has some embossing like wood grain look on there. Now the hardest thing you're going to have to do here is get your legs straight and it kind of centered before you press. So I'm going to press the stable part first, and if you mess it up a little bit but work quickly, you can pick it up before it completely dries. It still looks a little crooked, doesn't it? This is going to be the hardest part, I promise. Everything else will be easy. But I love the scene. He's not centered. Don't take up. Okay. This is harder to do when you're doing a video because I can't get right over the top. So if I go off screen, it's because I want to hold this right over the top of me so I can get it centered. Or at least centered to the eye. And not slanted. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. All right, so then, you know what, I'm gonna go with black. But still let me know which one you like better. Because like I said, they list Night of Navy, but it really does look black. So this is the next thing that goes on the card. Like I said, I'm just casing one like they did in the catalog. All right, let's put them in the stable. Okay, and then we have, here's the cow. Of course, I've lost things. Shocking, I know. All right, here's the sheep. They put him kind of like here. And I've lost my donkey, but we'll continue on. Here's the star. So I'm going to adhere him down with my multi-purpose glue that I've put in a fine tip glue bottle. And I'm just going to put some in the center so that I have some wiggle room. I need to make sure he doesn't go off the top of the card. And he doesn't cover up the Holy Night too much, so that's good. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing with this gold piece. Just going to put it right over the top of that. That may take a second to dry. Okay, so if I find my donkey, I'll add him. So, anyway, all these little pieces. Oh, here he is. He got moved off. So they put the donkey here on the stable part. Okay, and then they laid the little cow Kind of like he's leaning against the donkey. And he's in copper clay. So the only other thing they added was some sparkle gems that I don't have in yet. And they colored those with the Night of Navy blends. So isn't this a gorgeous Christmas card? I just love it. So with the 2 sheets of DSP, I know I can make 12. Unfortunately, I send out a bunch of Christmas cards, so I guess only a few will get this card one year. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I do have some more products coming that I want to share on my next video while I'm waiting on my paper pumpkin. I really hope it comes soon. It has shipped, but the last I saw it was still in Utah. And as usual, I will be doing an unboxing for it as soon as I get it, as well as sharing videos for all alternatives. So if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, I also have a link in my description box below of how, if you do not have a demonstrator, you can subscribe through me. And as a perk, I give a little sleeve that you can store your stamp set in, as well as a square of cardstock, because we get these spots in our kits. And so I tell everyone, store your little spots upside down so the ink stays on the top, much like our full-size pads. And this way, with this little cube, you know which color it is. And then also you get a PDF of any alternatives I make, even though I do a video on most, if not all of them. So be sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you've liked this video, give me a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts of the card. Do you like the black or the Night of Navy? I think I like the black. So that's what I went with. So again, September 6th is when this will go live for customers. And if you have ever thought about joining Stampin' Up, I also have a link in the description box below of how you can join. And then you can pre-order these as part of your starter kit. And I would love for you to join my team. So if you have any questions, you can leave those in the comments below and I will get back to you, as well as I do read all of them, so I appreciate your comments. So until my next video, I hope you have a great crafty day. Bye-bye.